Wednesday edition of the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda. It's 2 minutes past 11 and I am coming to you live from Pretoria. So coming up on the show today in a moment, I'm going to be chatting to Ralph Berold, the founder of Sonship Technologies, and we're going to be discussing the advantages and disadvantages of getting off the grid. And we all know the situation that we find ourselves in as a country due to Eskom and load shedding. So what can be done there? At 11:30, we're going to be talking about the importance of infusing different teas to your kids' diet and the benefits thereof with the dietitian Mbali Mapoli. At 12:05, I'll be joined by Islamic Careline's counselor Shuhaida Adam, talking about men's health and the introduction to Movember. And we end of the show chatting to Remofilwe Matipula, who is South Africa's first Black female hot air balloon pilot. Yes, you heard correct. She's a hot air balloon pilot. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please send them to us on our WhatsApp line 061 766 0355. Alternatively, you can follow us on our social media pages and leave your comments, questions, queries, or suggestions in the comments section. Stay with us. I'm going to be joined by Ralph in a moment. So Eskom has
moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Eskom has announced that stage 4 load shedding will continue for the rest of the week. We don't know how long load shedding will be, and we have come a long way as a country. But we do know that the likes of the Kusile power station aren't going to turn things around overnight. Some people are looking for other alternatives, and one of them is getting off the grid. But what are the advantages and disadvantages of getting off the grid? With me is Ralph Berold, the founder of Sonship Technologies, to give us some more information and insight. Good morning, Ralph, and thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Miriam. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so first of all, Ralph, what does getting off the grid mean?
Okay. In the context of South Africa, getting off the grid could mean a number of things. But most people would like to see more independence of the challenges that we experience with having one supplier in the form of Eskom, right? So in some cases, people want to entirely disconnect from the grid and run their own power systems, and that's entirely possible. But generally, that's a very expensive and difficult process, and not one which we would recommend unless customers have a difficulty with a grid connection. For example, if they're in a remote farm or in a remote place, or they're in a mobile application. But generally, I think what we recommend is becoming more independent of the grid in the sense that you remain connected to the supply, but you are producing your own energy as well. So a percentage of your energy can be produced on site easily from solar, but other sources as well. And then, with the addition of a battery system, you are able to then also look after your essential requirements during a load shedding period. So that gives you kind of independence when the grid, blackouts come. You're able to look after yourself during that time. But there are many reasons why we may not want to leave the grid entirely. We can go into this.
Mm-hmm. Right. What are the advantages and disadvantages of getting off the grid?
Okay. So when we say getting off the grid, let's talk about just producing more energy ourselves on site, right? As a start, and let's talk about battery storage as another option. So the two things are separate. The more energy we produce from solar panels, for example, the less energy we will have to buy from the council or from Eskom directly, depending on who your supplier is. And that will allow us to keep in control of our own electricity consumption and also to hedge against prices of electricity going higher. If you think about it, if you are producing 50% of your own power and you know what the cost is of that, then you're basically hedging yourself against future increases for 50% of your bill. So that that's a major advantage. The other advantage is that you actually are prepaying your electricity, a portion of your electricity, which the asset could be 20 years. Get a return probably over 15% per year every year if you invest in solar panels right now for your roof. The other advantage, as I mentioned, would be to ensure that you have supply during load shedding periods. So, for example, a battery system would do that for you. Whether it's a small UPS system or a larger UPS, like the kind that we sell, or a larger home system which is powered by a battery bank. These are all ways in which you can continue your essential loads. Perhaps it's just your working essentials. For example, your internet, your mobile your mobile devices, or maybe you have a setup at home like a work from home professional, and you're in an office from home and you want to keep power that, or maybe you want to power further your refrigeration, etc. There are many options. So the advantage there is that you have a battery energy available to yourself, and you can use that during the typical 2.5 hour load shedding period.
Mm-hmm. Right, and when it comes to the systems, the power systems, what types can we choose from?
Right. So, I mean, if we're talking about residential users, there are basically two kinds of solar systems. There's grid-connected solar, where you are producing your energy and you're tying into the distribution board of your house, and you're not storing any energy, right? And that allows you to reduce your electricity bill long term. And the second type would be a hybrid system where you are grid connected, but you are able to also store energy on site in a battery format. So that's a hybrid system. You're either feeding into the grid or you holding the energy in your battery on site. And the third system would be an entirely off-grid system where you're not grid connected at all. You have typically no bill from Eskom at all, but then you have to really build enough solar and enough battery storage, and possibly even have a backup generator, which could also further supply your requirements. And that's a tricky and expensive one because often our houses are not energy efficient, or we might want to continue to run the stove or an oven from the electricity, and that's not a good application for batteries or for solar. So I mean, our recommendation is to go for the hybrid system, which allows you to feed into the grid, use the grid when you need it, and that way you're able to actually get the best of both worlds. You can use the grid when you need it, you can use solar most of the time during the day, and you have the ability to store energy for your essential requirements.
Mm-hmm. And earlier on, you mentioned that it is quite expensive. So, in terms of costs, how much are we looking at?
Yeah, so it's a matter of how big you think about when you're going to buy a car. In this, you can buy something for less or more. I mean, the sky's the limit. So, and really getting what you pay for in terms of quality. So, it's a matter of doing your research. I think for UPS systems, you can get them good UPS systems for 10 or 20,000 rand. We have very long-term lithium-ion battery systems, which we started about 22,000 rand. But we're also offering those on a rental basis from 450 rand per month, and those are guaranteed for 10 years. There are many cheaper UPS systems you can buy, but be careful of buying cheaper batteries because you are going to have to replace them in 3 to 4 years. So we're seeing a lot of having to replace those cheaper systems. So again, do the research on the batteries. You should be buying lithium-ion batteries and buy good quality components. We use Victron components. There are other brands as well. So you can start at 10 or 20,000 rand for a really good UPS system for your AC backup load. But also you can, from solar, starting at about 50,000 rand plus, up to about 150,000 rand for a grid-connected feed-in system. And you want that to be including long warranties on the work. You want it to be compliant with the local municipality regulations, and you have to get the professionals to put it in. Don't just go for anyone who is offering that service. And on the larger battery systems, the hybrid systems, anything from 150,000 to 300,000, depending on the size of your house and what you want to power during load shedding. So if you want to do everything and power all of your loads, and those are very high, then you are going to spend more. But it's really a question of matching your budget to what you would like to power during load shedding.
All right, and when it comes to getting off the grid, we tend to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, we don't even know what it is, first of all. So what are some mistakes that people make when trying to get off the grid?
Right. I mean, I think the first thing that I've mentioned is that people feel they really have to get off the grid, and we would caution you to have that approach, because in order to do that, it can be a very expensive and difficult exercise. Rather, look into how you can form a hybrid system where you use the grid and you feed into the grid, and you have backup options available. So that's the first challenge. Second, as I've mentioned, is to buy systems that are not compliant with local South African and local municipal regulations. In fact, it's illegal to put in solar systems that are not compliant with the grid code, the local municipal bylaws, and also the local electrical regulations. So be careful to not just buy any equipment. It needs to be on the list for the local municipality or from Eskom directly. A good solar provider can help you with that equipment choice. And then the third point is really to buy equipment that has long warranty. So we see a lot of equipment that has a year or two of warranties. We at Sunship are offering warranties up to 10 years. So that's also some consideration. Remember, you don't want a system which is not going to be working once you've shelled out 100,000 rand or something. You want a system that whether the provider is available and to help you, rather than someone who sells you something and then you can't get hold of them next year. So choose a reputable person who you trust and who is offering not only the warranties but also the level of service which will give you comfort.
All right, Ralph, please stay with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll continue the after.
Sure.
Now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Famine, conflict, and severe economic decline make the humanitarian crisis in Yemen the worst in the world. More than 20 million Yemenis do not know where their next meal is coming from, and over 10 million are suffering extreme levels of hunger. With your support, the Al Imdad Foundation delivers essential food aid to starving Yemeni communities. It's a question of survival, so let's do what's right. Donate online at alimdad.com. or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world, where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration. putting the power back in your hands with no middleman so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free Zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Welcome back. You're listening to Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media, and we are talking about getting off the grid, the advantages and the disadvantages with Ralph Berold, the founder of Sunship Technologies. If you have any comments or questions for Ralph, you can leave them in the comment section or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. Ralph, thank you for staying on the line. What tips do you have for us? We know that the blackouts are going to be with us for a while. I mean, as it has been announced, we are now in stage 4 of the blackouts, or rather load shedding. So what tips can we adopt to make sure that we, I can't really say make the most out of it, but what tips can we make use of?
Sure. Well, I mean, other than buying an uninterrupted power supply, which is probably the best option. One can also look at how to manage your life around load shedding, right? I mean, for example, schedule calls and meetings, outside of the load shedding schedule. The good news is we should know, quite predictably when load shedding will occur based on the schedule that Eskom give us. So at least it's not completely unplanned. Although it's quite interesting to see how Eskom was able to change from load shedding level 2 to level 4 in a matter of a short space of time. So we should prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? So I think also keeping your appliances charged up, whether you're working off a laptop or a cell phone, making allowances for if you do have load shedding, what you're going to do. So for example, if you're cooking, if you're entertaining, if you're looking after your children, maybe they're doing homework, you can also buy small battery operated lamps, which are good for kids to do homework, etc. So there are many things short of buying a battery system which are possible to do, and I think it's just a matter of getting used to this new normal. It is not going to go away soon until Eskom is able to really provide a more guaranteed supply to the country, which in my opinion will not be within the next 5 years, maybe even 10 years, because there is a shortage of generation in the country, and it takes time for us to build new generation, whether it's wind or solar or other power stations. That will take time to come online. So it is a national crisis, and we're going to have to live with it over the next decade, probably. So yeah, I think other than our own lifestyle choices and making changes and getting familiar with the schedule, also the idea of investing in battery systems, whether they are small UPS systems, maybe just to run the router and charge your phone, larger systems to run a couple of computers, your TV, or larger systems still, which could power your life, including your refrigeration. We are selling systems which can also look after your entire your home, or even so larger systems still. And then working out how you can be more productive during the daytime and during the evenings with the limited grid supply that we have.
All right, Ralph, thank you so much for your time. But before you leave, where can we get more information?
Sure. You're welcome to to check out our website, where we have a number of Q&A section. We also sell a number of products for what we call power boxes, and our website is www.sunshiptech.com. We also have a rental solution which we are offering to our customers as well. So where they can rent, UPS systems from us. In addition, there's a lot of resources online. There are other, if you just go to the regular news media, you will find a lot of good resources to understand what the challenges are with Eskom, and also to try and find solutions for your own home and for your own business. But thanks for the opportunity, and I hope that we can speak to more of your listeners and try and assist them with their home systems as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a wonderful day. That was Ralph Berold from Sunship Technologies. And if you'd like some more information regarding on systems for your home or your business, you can visit them www.sunshiptech.com. And yeah, all the information is available there, and a great rental option as well. If you can't afford it right now, you can rent it. And I'm not sure, I forgot to ask Ralph if it's a rent to own, or it's just rent, rent and return thereafter after using. But yeah, we need to make plans. You need to plan accordingly, because with these load sheddings in stage 4 at the moment, we are not sure what to expect next. Some people have better schedules where it's only once a day. Some have worse schedules, which is probably 2 to 3 times of load shedding a day. But plan accordingly and work your way around the load shedding schedules, and make sure that you are up to date of what is happening in your area, in your neighborhood. And if you can afford, buy these systems, buy UPS, a hybrid system, as Ralph mentioned there, and look for something or products that have high warranties, not something that's going to last you 1 or 2 years, or has a warranty for 1 or 2 years, but rather something that's got 10 or more. And choose reputable provider. Do your research. That's most importantly. Do your research and find people. Don't just go to any electronics store and hope to get the best, and you're not going to get the great product, but you just want something in order to keep the lights on for a while. And then later on down the line, you start complaining about the products not being at optimum level. So do your research, do your math, do your calculations, save accordingly, and plan accordingly as well, because we're not sure how long the situation with Eskom is going to last us. It might be the next 10 years, it might be the next 50 years, it might be the next 100. We don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, while we know that we have a schedule, let's plan according to our schedules. And I hope that the studio has a plan for today as well. All right, if you have any further comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section, or you can send them to us at 0617660355. That is our WhatsApp number. Stay with us. We will be right back.